It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And our focus is on this team's sure-handed wide receiver, who's closing in on 1,000 yards receiving on the year. The action is only moments away, and it's coming up next.
What better way to start off the afternoon than with some football, huh? It's time to get things started here on the NFL on EA Sports. All right, football fans, settle in because we got bragging rights on the line in this one. Kate Scott, Brock Hewitt here with you as we get set for a division rematch, Brock. One side seeking the sweep, and the other looking for some revenge after how that first showdown went.
What do they say about familiarity? Familiarity does what?
It breeds something, Brock. It breeds, contempt.
It breeds contempt.
Yeah.
These teams don't like each other. They can fake it. They can say all the right things in the papers. They don't want any bulletin board material. But the fact is, you know your division foes better than anybody, and they know you. And that familiarity does bring a little extra heat into this matchup.
This return starts at the 5. And oh boy, very dangerous spot to begin this drive. He's out at his own 1. Quarterback leading his offense to the field now as they get set for a new series.
He's definitely one of the stars in this league, a true franchise quarterback. And when you're at this level, Kate, you want to put your imprints on this game right from the jump. Can't happen. Man, that's just something you never, ever see at this level. That's a complete failure of operation, not just by the returner, but the return team in general. And now, instead of getting into your normal offense, you got to find some way, somehow, to dig yourself out of this hole.
Throwing on their first play. Pass is hauled in by the running back. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first. Looking to the air here. Completed to his running back. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. That play cleaned up by Matt Milano. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Setting up a throw. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. He gets loose down the right side. To the 10. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he gets to the end zone. Touchdown! These guys drive the length of the field and take a 6-0 lead. For the offense, you gotta love it, Brock. Points to begin the game as he runs it in for an opening drive touchdown.
And you've got one very happy running back right over there on the sideline right now. These backs, they do feel the pressure to find the end zone every single week. It's not easy to do. But to do it this early and get it out of the way, big time.
That one splits the uprights. And these guys will jump out to a 7-0 lead. They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. Returning it from the 4. This return makes it up to the 25. So now the Bills will get their turn at an opening drive of the game. And leading them out is the 7th-year pro. Seems to be in the MVP conversation every year now. It's Josh Allen.
We've seen a lot of big arms come and go in the NFL. Few translate that talent, though, into stardom, quite like Josh Allen. It's fun for me on the college football road when I ask these young quarterbacks who they idolize, who they look up to. And just about every big guy that can run says the same thing, Josh Allen, because that skill set is so tantalizing. A player who can rip off a highlight reel play with the pass.
Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. Man in motion, out of the slot. Trying again, following the sack. He's got this complete to James Cook. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Man in motion here. Allen on 3rd down. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. So on 4th down, on comes Sam Martin to hit punt for the Bills. He punted 4 times last week in the win, and his first of this week is away. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. Free up the middle. It's a breakaway. Hits the 20. He makes it in for the touchdown. These guys get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. Oh, baby! He got loose, and after a few steps, there was nothing they could do to stop him. That, Brock, is the definition of a home run play.
You know, and when you go to draft, sign, or trade for a skill guy, you want him to have that kind of threat, that kind of breakaway speed. You don't always have to be a 4-3 guy on the track. You just have to be a guy that once you get in that open field, there is nobody, and I mean nobody in the building that was going to catch him.
And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. Starting from the 5. He lost the football. And the fumble recovery is made. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. No, we just don't see kick returns nearly as often as we used to, Brock, which makes impact plays on them like that so much rarer.
Yeah, that is so well said. Kind of reminds me of my son's baseball coach, right? At a young age, you're always coaching those guys. Hey, the ball's going to come to you. The ball's going to come to you. Every single pitch, the ball's going to come to you. And these kickoff cover guys, they got to think in their mind every time is my chance to make a play, and they just did.
Another give to the wideout. Man, he has been busy. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
It just feels like any time this guy touches the ball, it's a big play waiting to happen. He could be lined up wide or when they use him as a runner. If someone doesn't get a hand on him quick, he's gone.
And they take this in for the score. These guys boat racing them to the halftime locker room. Well, partner, with the increased focus on receivers now in the ground game, the jet sweep, it's a weapon all 32 teams and coaches have to rely on for offense. And for the good ones, it can be a lucrative play to have ready, too.
Yeah, lucrative on the scoreboard, certainly, Kate. And don't forget about lucrative for the wallet, too. Next time his agent's at the negotiating table, he's going to be sure to bring plays up like that one. And mention the value he could bring beyond the work of just catching the football.
Now after the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition can do. Return coming from the 6. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. And following the play, we've got a break in the action as the trainers head out. They had a man hurt on the play, and hopefully this doesn't affect his availability for the playoffs. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. Escapes, caught deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And it's picked up by the defense. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Receiver gets it again. Man, they're keeping him busy. And the ground game works for the touchdown. These guys boat racing them to the halftime locker room. Far from the first time we've broken down one of his touchdowns in this game, partner, but man, they seem to get more impressive every time.
And I don't care, Kate, if they're all 1-yard plungers, if you're up over 300 yards. A 4-touchdown game will forever live among your greatest career highlights. You can go several games without even scoring one. So to get 4 in one contest, you'll never, ever forget it.
That one right down the middle. And his guys continue piling on to this lead. Following the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition has in store. Here's a return from the 7. This return makes it up to the 25. The Bills and quarterback Josh Allen ready to get back to work now on offense. And he's been somebody who can get the scoring done with his legs just as much as his arm. You can see he's top 5 for touchdowns among NFL QBs. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Allen. That's caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. They've got a man in motion. On 1st down, Allen. Oh, he got way too much under that one. Too high, that's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
2nd down, here's Allen again. Pass into the hands of Dalton Kincaid. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. A new set of downs forthcoming, 1st and 10. Allen going to throw again. He's on the move. Now he takes it. Oh no, he lost control of another one. It's picked up by the defense. And they finally drag him down, but not until after a very nice return.
You know, they like to say about sports, it's 90% mental. Well, right now with this runner, after 3 fumbles, it's 100% mental. You got to hang on to the football. It's in his head right now, and it just can't happen.
The visitors returning their offense and this running back to the field. And the NFL rushing title within his grasp as we enter the penultimate week. He sits atop the league in yards. 1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. This drive begins with a jet sweep. He does it, touchdown! These guys get more points to end a lopsided 1st half. And he's done it so many times before in just this game, Brock. There he is again in the end zone leading that celebration.
I think they're running out of ways to celebrate.
I think so too.
Right? They work on these things. They love these celebrations. But my gosh, he's made a habit of visiting the end zone. And it's his effort, it's his want to, it's his will that has carried this offense forward for much of the game.
That one splits the uprights. And these guys grow their lead yet again. They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. Fielded at the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. And he found some running room for a nice gain. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the shotgun, it's Allen. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 2.
Looking to throw. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
You know, it's fascinating how those routes you run so many times in practice become a whole lot more difficult in the actual game. That was an important 3rd and short to convert. Very surprised.
Wow, it's free again! Scooped up by the defense. And the nightmare continues as they bring the fumble back for a touchdown. These guys piling it on going into halftime. Like a freight train leaving the station after scooping up that fumble. Oh, he got moving on his way to the end zone, Brock. Nice hustle from the big man.
Is there anything more fun than seeing these big old human beings get their chance to get on a scoreboard? You see how it just ignites everybody.
Now we'll see them try the point after. And the kick is good, so they add 7 to their lead on the final play of our first half. So in a very quick-moving contest, we've reached halftime. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front. Jamar Chase, a touchdown reception. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently, they trail in that ball game. The new Raider, Gardner Minshew, a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And you can see there, it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. The Colts still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag if it's not already. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half ahead. It's time to get back at it. For the call, let's rejoin Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. As this at the 6. He lost the football. And they steal it back on the return. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. Well, partner, those halftime adjustments they had planned on offense. Hold on, let me just crack it open here and throw those right out the window.
That's such a bummer. You do spend those rapid minutes in the halftime locker room getting everybody on the same page. Hey, here we go. Here's our plan. Here's our new script.
Yep. And he carries it in for the touchdown. These guys grow the lead coming out of halftime. Well, they dialed up that one at the right time, Brock. Pretty clear the defense was expecting pass, and they couldn't pivot when he got it as a runner instead.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make that mistake again, are they? Now with how versatile these wide receivers are in today's game, it's one of the big transitions, Kate, over the last decade. You know, you always used to see Jerry Rice and John Taylor just lined up scoring touchdowns on the perimeter. Not so fast anymore. These wide receivers today so versatile, and he showed off that on that play.
That one right down the middle. And his guys tack on 7 more to their lead. And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Bills headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And you tell us this all the time, Brock. Touchdowns aren't the only stats that make a quarterback, right? Yep, he's nodding right now. But the absence of any from his ledger, well, that's problematic. And his struggles are indicative of the challenge that this offense as a group has really been fighting all game long. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First tone of the game for James Cook. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
At the 23-yard line.
Another one for Cook. And he's able to push this ahead to around the 27. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Back now, pressure on its way. Buys time, rolling right. He'll make a bid for... Wow, it's free again! Recovered by the defense. Well, he was fighting off defenders, trying for the extra yards. You understand it, but might have been what cost him and opened the door for that fumble.
Okay, you and I both know this game has changed so much in our lifetimes. It's evolved in so many different ways. But I promise you can go back to the 60s, the 70s, and many of these fumbles occur just like that. You break one tackle, you let up just a little bit, and that next guy comes home and delivers the devastating blow.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Gonna start things off with a sweep. Breaks through, and he might break away. Oh, he trucked that defender. He cuts it left, and they take this in for the score. These guys turn the fumble into 6. A game-breaking play there, stunning the defense and giving this offense one for the highlight reel, baby.
Yep, just put another one on there, Kate. He is a threat to score anytime he touches the ball. The defense, well, they had him ready to go. They were ready to body him up in coverage, but receivers today, and we see it all the time, the best of them, they don't just do it through the air. They can use their legs as a weapon. That's a big-time touchdown run.
That one splits the uprights. And these guys continue adding on to that lead.
Bills nothing.
Now after the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition can do. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Buffalo sending its offense to the field. And as we're being reminded of watching this package, there have been quite a few mad scrambles for the football in this one. It has been put on the deck a lot, and unfortunately, they haven't always been there to make the recovery.
Yeah, I think this is twofold, Kate. I think, number one, this is a defense who has studied its opponent and their tendencies well, knowing there were opportunities to rip the ball out of their hands. And then offensively, this has been a mess. And this is one of those games where it's just error after error after error, and you know they typically come back to bite you.
And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Back to throw now, Allen. Uh-oh, he can't escape. He's brought down. And that pushes him back. Third down coming up.
This dude is putting together some kind of game today. When he scored that touchdown earlier, we knew we had to keep an eye on him. No surprise, here he is making yet another huge impact play.
Gotta figure out this third down here. Pressure coming, it's Allen. They're on him again, and he goes down again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough fourth down. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. He gets it away now from his own end zone. That's played at the 43. And he's out of bounds. Not the return that he had drawn up. No way. And actually loses yards. New series coming up following the punt. And they've got a long field ahead of them to begin this drive. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Back in his own end zone, looking to throw. Forced out to his right. On the run right, throwing deep down the side. They connect on the deep shot. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. This one, well, it's been a rough watch for the hometown guys. Their side getting blown out as we begin the 4th. They go play action on 1st. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. Whew, very fortunate that didn't go as a turnover. And now they face 2nd down. Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. Brought in right side. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Well, after that play, training staff is headed out. That's one of their top guys who's shaken up. And they're going to need him back for the upcoming postseason. Here's a give. Fullback headed up the gut. He's inside the 10. And the scoring will never end. It's another touchdown. These guys are running them out of the building. Wow, Brock, that is one of the longest runs I think we're going to see out of a fullback. And just can't get my mind around the fact that he outpaced those DBs long enough to reach the end zone.
You and me alike. That was a power lifter and power blocker becoming a sprinter. You know, I'm not sure if we stretch out further, he's going to hold on and score, but at that distance, oh gosh, his teammates just love that TD.
That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Following the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition has in store. Here's a return from the 7. Oh no, he lost control of another one! And they steal it back on the return. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
These guys are flying down the field. Reminds me of the guys at Braveheart. But different than Braveheart, these guys got 2 things on their mind. Number 1, get the returner down. And number 2, try to separate the ball if they can. It's rare that it happens, but boy, is it big when it does.
And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
These running backs love getting into the open field, and the best of them, they're not even looking at the man right in front of them. They're looking at that next level to get a chunk run like that.
He gets the shot at it on 1st and goal. And stop me if you've heard this before, Brock. They've scored again, and they grow that lead further. These guys throwing 6 more on the blowout. So an exclamation point there. That caps off what, and I think you'd agree, Brock, has been a dominating performance.
Yeah, I would. Really in all phases, too. You know, I thought coming in that this would be a much closer game than how it's turned out to be. And you got to give credit where it's due. This offense has been outstanding throughout.
That one splits the uprights, and they'll continue adding to their lead. They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. He fields it from the 8. He's stopped on the return at the 27. All right, we'll take a brief timeout here for an injured player. Never something you want to see this late in the season. They're going to check him out. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They put a receiver in motion here left. 1st and 10. Here's Allen. Wow, it's free again! And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
Now outruns their offense to take over. And the way they have just been running it right through this defense all game, Brock, it's really been astounding to see an NFL defense defeated so soundly.
You just don't expect to see a defense at this level of football get worked so much on the ground. Every unit prides itself, at least a little bit, on being an old-school throwback team who can win a slugfest in the trenches. Yet this ground game, they've been doing all the slugging here.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Tossing right to the short side. And the scoring will never end. It's another touchdown. These guys continue adding to an insurmountable lead. And now it's just he and 4 other running backs, the only players to ever reach 25 rushing touchdowns in a single season. With that score, he joined some great company to be in. Shaun Alexander, Priest Holmes, and a couple of Hall of Famers, LaDainian Tomlinson and Emmitt Smith. Lining up now to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
77. Bills nothing.
And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. Return coming from the 6. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Possession switching back to Buffalo as their offense heads out. And they'll get one final chance in a game that, to put it mildly, Brock, has been a bit of a miserable experience for them. Play action now, Allen. They get to him, and he loses the football. It's out! And it's picked up by the defense. Oh boy, Brock, some very unfortunate deja vu offensively here. This is exactly how their last drive came to an end too.
Yeah, bummer for the offense, but exactly what the defense has worked on this week. Right, they find those ball security culprits and they take advantage of them. They study that tape, Kate, all week long, looking to see who's loose with the football and where they can take advantage of it, and they've done it on back-to-back drives.
The offense headed back to the field. They're looking to just hang on to the ball through the finish. Defense has all of its timeouts, but with this game out of reach, a good chance they just let it run. He tosses right to the short side. He cuts back left. And stop me if you've heard this before, Brock. They've scored again, and they grow that lead further. These guys are running them out of the building. There's time to chide him about poor tackling later, Brock.
And I probably will.
And you probably will. Coach probably will give him an earful about it as well, but let's not let the missed tackle take away from excellent effort he had on that run.
Yeah, it really was his effort to force that missed tackle, kid. I think that's the key, and open the door for that touchdown. As soon as he slipped that stop, his mind was focused on one thing and one thing only, the end zone.
That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Now after the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition can do. That's going to be taken in at the 8. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Bills offense all set for their next drive. The opportunity to win this game is, well, it's long gone, Brock. They're down to their last opportunities now to avoid the shutout as well. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Allen on the play action. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
That was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot.
Wow, it's free again! It's picked up by the defense. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. Oh, man, yet again, Brock, an inability to hang on to the football. I'm just going to guess might be working a little harder on ball security next week. 3rd straight series, they put it on the turf.
Yeah, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Any day that ends in Y, you're probably going to do it because this is incredibly frustrating to not hold on to the football. It's left them searching for answers that I'm not sure anybody has right now.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Quick toss headed left. And the scoring will never end. It's another touchdown. These guys throwing 6 more on the blowout. Well, Brock, he found himself some space to work, and from there, wow, all athleticism as he made his way into the end zone.
You got that right, Kate. Just that speed. You got to have some different gear when you get down here to the red zone. It's hard to score rushing touchdowns, and that running back sees the open space, he sees the green grass, and he finishes it off with 6.
You're going to have to explain this one to me. They are punting from inside the red zone. Oh, we knew it could happen here. It's a fake. And that one's caught. Add a couple more on to this massive, some might say insurmountable lead here in the 4. Well, partner, they had this one in the bag a long, long time ago. But some people,
You sure?
they're just never able to resist running that score up as high as it can go. And apparently that includes going for 2 more there.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture some of just the guys that I played with in the past. Those that really respect the game. You know what this does? This feels like you're disrespecting the game.
Oh, wow.
This NFL, these are the best of the best, and this will come around at some point and bite you. You disrespect the game like this, you run it up on an opponent, you better watch your back down the road.
Returning it from the 4. And this drive will start inside the 25. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
At their own 24-yard line.
Allen. That'll be incomplete, and the clock shows 10 seconds left.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Pressure's on him, and it gets home. He's dropped. Now at 4 seconds left, we've got a timeout. Not that the final play is going to change the outcome, but we will get one more snap. This undoubtedly the final snap of what's already a decided contest. One final shot here. Wow, it's free again! Scooped up by the defense. So something to be proud of, Brock, as they come away with the win. And it's harder and harder not to mention, Brock, the possibility of an undefeated season as they add another to their total here in the penultimate month of the campaign. Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. This celebration begins for our winners as we say so long from Buffalo.